Hi everyone, we're going to touch base with ZEC, Zcash Tether US daily chart with a nice strong move at the beginning of May with a break of this 200 MA on the daily chart. 200 MA on the daily chart being one of the most obvious resistance and support areas for the price action to get above or below for bearish or bullish scenarios. And since February 2026, ZEC had lost this 200 MA, and despite attempts to get above it, it failed and came all the way back down to support at around 190, formed a potential base, broke above the neckline, which also again gave the ZEC another opportunity to attack the 200 MA, but again came back, retested the previous range which we're in. So this was resistance, now this was support. That was the 300 level approximately. Then the price action got rejected from the 200 MA at the back end of April, had a little bit of a rejection, and now we've had a very nice strong move above, all the way above this resistance level at 554 and firmly into this bullish range, which will last in at the back end of 2025, which sits between 712 and 555, as we just mentioned. Now, obviously, you can see we're cooking on the RSI on the daily chart, which is quite significant. You don't want to enter a long trade when we're here, and you'll see these bullish order blocks remain in the area starting at around 318, 315, all the way down to around $200. And the reason why, of course, you want to be cautious here and not chase this, of course, ZEC is going to be a first mover. ZEC is going to get a lot of bullish momentum because it's had a lot of attention since September following this break. It managed to put in significant gains, 1,500% move, and therefore, of course, you're going to get a lot of attention, which is why ZEC is moving a lot better than the rest of the altcoin market. But that doesn't make it any easier to trade. It just means that if you get in, you have some very high profit potential. But ultimately, where can we now long from? Well, the first thing to recognize is that the 200 MA is an obvious place to wait for a retrace to, because we haven't actually had a proper retest of it yet. We've tried to break out, retest it on the flip side, and now we've broken out. So we're looking for that retest, and we do have some nice confluence where the 200 MA is going to be at around 370, which sits quite nicely above here where we've previously had bouncing off points for the price action at this area. You see it came up, came down, bounced off the support, which we've already bounced off, and then the next move bounced off this upper level at 371. That's pretty much what we're looking to see from ZEC now. And would that give sufficient space for the sellers to be exhausted? That's the key question. Well, yes, because it would be almost 100% retrace back down to where we essentially launched off from. And given the market at the moment is very stop-start, very reset, look at this move here. So we kicked off 11th of October, broke all the way back up here, but then by February, we're back exactly where we launched off from. So we'd want to look at the market with a little bit of skepticism at the moment, and we want to catch these bullish moves, but we don't want to be chasing them. So we're now looking for the next move. Now we've had bullish confirmation of a break of the 200 MA, and that does look like we have two levels. The hyper bullish one would be a retest of 357, where we'll see the price action come back down to 457 and then start trading in this range. Now that could unlock even higher prices, bearing in mind there's a lot of resistance now overhead, and we are sitting in a red order block already, meaning a move back down to here is quite likely. But again, knowing the state of the market, what does the market need to do in order for ZEC to bounce here at 450, 460? So that's your first line in the sand, but that's quite a bullish proposition. So you may only want to enter with a small amount of intended position here. But then, of course, you've got this lower level here at 367, which is more significant because it's a 200 MA. We need that retest, which we could potentially see the price actually come back down to. You've got the 200 MA support. You've got this lower consolidation area also there with a lot of bulls looking to pick up any dips into this area. And then, of course, maybe you can now trade this range between around 624 and 360, which is quite broad. But also on the flip side, we do have short opportunities at 713, which is this previous swing high, and also at current levels. But given the fact we've had such a strong move, we could see another leg up from here. So unlike the majority of the altcoins at present, which have a short bias, ZEC definitely has a long bias, meaning we want to be looking for long entries as opposed to shorts, despite the opportunities which we might see over the next few days. But that's Zcash.